Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishnan Nair, and here basically we are talking about some very dangerous topic that is basically um, related to earthquakes only. Basically, I will take one example. One basically scientist told that just scientist told that actually currently just now 1 minute before basically 1 minute before the earthquake came, and he told that basically it came from a blood group a blood group chain, and in that basically the data was of plastic industry means with that basically everybody knows. And then basically he told that after 2 minutes again earthquake came. Then basically he told that this earthquake was basically from a F blood group. This all blood group basically the data basically all are fake, but the concept basically which it's I'm telling that is basically true. So F blood group, and the in F blood group basically the software industry basically one of the software company basically is very big software company. Their data basically was getting conflict within the environment. Due to that basically the earthquake came. So like this only basically the each and every world basically the earthquake basically comes. So blood group equal to earthquake magnitudes. Blood group equal to earthquake magnitude. One person told that one person done the complaint to a detective agency. Uh, and he told that basically whatever I am doing in laptop, whatever I am doing in whatever basically I am doing the mail which I am going to schedule, that all basically are somebody are tracking it. Then basically he told that who are tracking that you can basically who is tracking that each and every schedule mail. Then he told her there are Gmail is there, Google is there, sorry Yahoo is there. These all break groups are tracking your email. Then he told actually one story. There was one scientist basically. He told that he actually was very genius basically. He planned up to this level that on last day of world, these all are the things going to happen. So in that basically he told that this all schedule basically which mailed, that is also part of that game only. The people who are going to track this, they are also basically came into this. Each and every people basically, their blood groups basically, and their entire nationality basically. This entire things basically came into the picture. The scientists basically told that like this basically you had done the plan. The another person told that why basically you had done this type of plan basically. The another person basically told why you have done this all this plan basically. That on last day of the world basically that scientist basically was knowing that what is the last day of the earth planet basically, how basically he might have done this, that basically he only basically might be knowing, or basically Wikipedia might be knowing, because he keeps each and every information of each and every laptop also. So he also basically is going to come into last day of world condition basically. His entire area basically is going to come. So basically, the scientist told that how basically that is possible. Matlab scientist means that another person basically told that how basically scientists you have calculated the last day of world basically. That on last day of world, this many mail you are going to send. This all are mail basically somebody is going to track, and according to track basically according to the mail which basically the groups has tracked, that track basically is one of the condition. How you have done this basically? Then basically he told that basically in but in track basically the person basically who's the scientist basically told that the group basically who are tracking him, they all are basically human clones, special human clones created, and they are basically sitting in the computer, and they are tracking him from the Google. What? Yeah, they are basically special human clones created temporarily to just to track that mail basically. So you can just imagine the um, plan basically, because that actually that human clone also basically one of the was the one of the condition of that scientist, that basically the people who done this plan, they don't know, because each and every human clone basically are created from the computers only, and the software company, big software company like IBM, Microsoft, these groups only creates the human clones. So he was basically the person basically was shocked basically what actually he is telling. Then scientists told that this was the matrix basically, which he told that on last day of world basically each and every things are going to generate. Then basically he told that basically they are human clones, right? Human clone basically it might possible that within for 1 or 2 days basically they might have created just to track the email address, what actually is written in the email address, and whatever things basically is written in the email address, that basically is going to type by that human clone and going to send to one email, and that email basically is going to read by one group. Then the scientist told that this is also one of the matrix actually, this is also one of the matrix, because half of the world basically is created from the human cloning system only. Half of the world basically is created from the human cloning system basically. Then basically the human cloning system department basically told that we have created this human clone basically especially to track these emails, especially to track these emails basically what the email, what the things is written in the email, and from that email basically that human clone basically temporary human clone is going to type the email and whatever things is written in the notepad or word, and then basically that human clone is going to basically send the email to particular group basically who are basically want to know each and every information of the what actually the scheduled email is basically written. Like this basically the scientist told that basically what is the benefit of this all this and everything. Then the that particular person basically asked him. Then the scientist told that basically on last day of world basically you will know each and everything basically what actually is the plan. Like this type of scientists are also there basically in this world basically. Few scientists say that basically today world will end. Few scientists say that tomorrow world will end. But on the base of what basically they say that the world is going to end, the world is going to end, world is going to end. Some scientist has predicted that Gaza and Israel both are going to end. Some scientist has predicted Gaza and Israel both are going to end. Then basically, how it's possible if Israel will end? Then basically, who is going to take care of the software industry basically? And India basically contains how many computers and how many servers and how many softwares are basically running in the each and every software companies and the commercial companies and the each and everywhere basically. How this all are going to run basically? Then the another person told that this also we want to verify basically, that we that should how many dependencies are basically are of the software. Then he told that basically he basically given one example, text box equal to 1,000 cities. So we want to chain basically this entire 1,000 city basically. So this type of things are also there basically. These type of things are also there. So you can just imagine basically. So here basically we are talking about from that story basically, because he the scientist told that on the last day when world is going to end, that will be through earthquakes only. And earthquakes are directly connected with the blood groups. And in this world basically there are 12 22 blood groups or 12 blood groups basically. Exact number basically nobody in this world basically might be knowing, because each country keeps their secrets. So few countries says that we are basically the owner of this blood group. Few countries says that we are the owner of this blood group. Few countries says that we are the owner of this blood groups. At last, basically, army group says that we are going to finish this all blood groups if you are not telling the truth, basically. So you can just imagine the condition of the world. Currently, Gaza and Israel war is ongoing. So just see basically the condition of the world. Basically, currently it is. Few people says that we have saw the Jesus also currently. What actually he's how he's looking. So if somebody is telling anything, then basically he might have saw something, right? Without that, basically he can't tell anything. Somebody says that Guru Nanak Ji also exists. Somebody says that after 100 years the Krishna avatar comes, and in this avatar basically all whole world basically 100 years problem basically gets merged within this his body, within his body basically, and that the body gets activate, and that basically is a Krishna avatar. So here basically community doesn't matter basically, right? Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, all basically problems basically comes into the that body basically, and then that body gets activates, and then lots of things happens that basically everybody knows what happens. Then you have to solve that problem. Otherwise, universe will come and they will solve the problem. And how they solve the problem? Do you want to know? They will finish the world only, just within 1 second. They just require 1 second. Sorry, not 1 second, 1 millisecond. They will say that we have solved the problem. Like this, they will solve the problem. And 100%, mark my words, this is only going to happen. Because each and every country is telling that we have not done this, we have not done this. One person basically came from Mumbai and visited 6 times in Mumbai, and basically he has not got the job. And he asked someone basically, and he told that we have passed your biodata to consultant. Then the consultant he calls, then consultant says that we have passed your biodata to your the software companies. Then the software company says that currently Navratri is ongoing, so all are on leave. Then after leave, basically the people came, and then they told that currently now Diwali is on. Diwali will be going to come, so that's why they are on busy on Diwali. They are not recruiting the people. So like this, basically the problems here on going on, going on, going on. Going. Like this, basically the universe people told that if you are not solving the problems, then basically it is going to just take 1 millisecond. And in this, basically, which country will be responsible? That basically whole world knows. Whole world know basically which country will be responsible for. So everybody knows, and America basically is a friend of India. Basically, that also everybody knows. And America keeps on giving proof that we are friend of Indian. They are keeps giving proof that we are friend of Indian. We are friend of Indian. So whole world basically 22 crore people Indian basically are staying in across the world. That also whole world knows basically this. And people says that basically the sky control are also with the um, Indian nationality. Few people says that how India basically keeps their secrets. Then one people shows that in one of the magazine basically it was written that Kalpana Chawla basically the space rider basically the astronaut basically she is actually died. And few people says that this is the India's secret basically. She has not died. It was just news basically, just to create the news in front of the world. See basically Indian basically people basically died. But she basically says that we are. I basically can communicate with India. So who is right basically, who is wrong? That basically nobody knows because these all things basically comes into the picture when the world war and world end will happen. That day basically these all things are going to come into the picture. I have taken one example. 22 blood groups basically are there, and 22 blood groups basically are controlling the each and every buildings stability in this world, and one blood cell equal to one planet. And planet basically is we can't see planet from here, right? From space only basically we can see the planet. So planet is moving in the sky only, and that planet basically is mapped with our body. So you can just imagine the dangerous situation basically the world is facing. So few people says that we have already started the world war. Few people says that we have already started the world war. Few people says that world war is going to solve this problem because few people says that in 1983 only world war was supposed to start, but it has started late. Then basically the people says that who is right who is wrong basically it it's basically impossible to say basically. So it's very difficult basically you can say in the condition where the world basically is facing the situation. One person told that uh, that particular person is not getting the job. And basically, one people told that basically he might be not applying the job, but he told that he has applied the job. But when he is applying the job, the company is not able to get the mail. Company is not able to see the email. Company is telling that we can't see because it's they are telling that they have some done some uh, mapping system basically. The mail basically whenever the that particular person is going to send the mail, the consultant is basically not able to see that mail only. Why? Because the mail which the consultant are basically seeing that are totally different mail. Then how basically his mail is going to be displayed by the consultancy, by the consultancy. So like this basically lots of issues basically in this world basically exist. Lots of issue basically in this world basically exist. Few people says that we are number one software company and we have created lots of software companies and we have donated lots of money. So we don't take care of each and every people. The donator basically the people who had taken the donation, they have created lots of software companies. They takes care of each and everything basically. Like this, they basically says that we have watched our responsibility. Like this, we have watched our responsibility like this by giving donation of 60 to 40%. We have given the donation, so they are basically taking care of that. Like this, they are telling that we have watched our responsibility. So then basically the one of the basically person told that uh, Guruji, how basically earthquake actually works basically. You told that earthquake basically is connected with the blood group, and blood groups are basically there are 12 blood group owner, and they are basically connected with the 850 crore people basically. So how basically this connects basically, and how basically the energy companies and power companies are basically connecting this all this to each and every buildings. How basically that magic is possible? Is this magic, or it's basically some done by some other groups, or by doing some by other tech, techniques, or what actually what is that? Then he told that the earthquake basically which is coming basically, that is coming with the help of the blood groups change creation only, and blood groups keeps on changing. Blood groups keeps on changing. That basically everybody knows, right? Blood groups keeps on changing. Why? Because um, you are basically your blood cells is keeps on processing. That's why blood groups always keeps on changing. That basically everybody knows. Blood groups always keeps on changing. Why? Because your blood cells are always keeps on processing. If it keeps on processing, then basically the blood groups are always going to change. So if it's always going to change, that's why basically the every second, basically every millisecond, the earthquake comes in the each and every city basically. Currently, I'm in Vadodara city. So Vadodara city is feeling the earthquake. Sorry, not feeling the earthquake, but the earthquakes are coming. Why? Because their blood cells basically are created on that way basically. That you will never able to feel the earthquakes. Why? Because you have been created. Your blood cells has been created by the Congress party, who basically says that we have created the India. They say that we have created one blood cells in your body, and that body basically will never able to feel the earthquake feeling. It will never able to feel the earthquake feeling, because the system is already created. Now the system is correct or not correct, that basically our Congress high command party only basically can decide. That basically for that basically you have to go to 1700 in 1700 year, who actually created this concept basically. On the base of blood group, the entire world basically stability will be going to happen. This concept is clear, sorry, is correct or not, then basically they only knows, because they have created it. If they have created it according to that time basically, then basically they might be right only. They might have saw something. And how dangerous is this earthquake system is basically, that basically it's very difficult to tell also. Why? Because it's directly connected with your blood cells, blood groups. And 3 months before basically the before 7 month 7 year basically the power supply which is going to supply in within the city, that basically is already decided 8 years before basically. If you say so, then basically it's a 10 years basically. Few countries says that we are basically into very sensitive area, so we need data of 10 year before only. So 10 year the current data which they are using of the power supply of the stability of the country, they basically has got this data 10 years before basically. This data is created 10 years before. Few countries says that this data is created 20 years before. So like this basically assume that the maximum year basically, that is 30 years, that 30 years before this data was created. Like this basically the sequence goes on down. So assume that there is one country which says that we just got this data basically just 3 months before. Means this data of the power supply that is just created 3 months before. So maximum is 30 years and minimum is 3 months. So this basically maximum minimum that basically connects you directly to the earthquake basically. The stability of the each and every buildings basically. Stability of each and every buildings basically. So this is what actually that we are going to discuss in next part basically of the earthquakes. How basically in India basically big earthquake never comes. Why? Because India blood group is like that basically. They never keeps on changing. If the big changes happen, then only big changes means bad level effect basically. If earthquake is coming, that means it's unstable, right? Unstable means something bad has happened. And in India, basically, each and every big blood groups basically are kept in very safe areas. Basically, you can say there basically nobody can touch that blood group. That's why basically the blood group basically keeps on not keeps on changing basically. And it might possible that I had told that 30 years maximum and 3 month minimum data basically of the power supply which is collected 30 years before the dates the current data basically which is in the country basically that is collected 30 years before. So this is also possible. So each and everything basically might be possible. Possibilities are there basically, and on the base of possibilities only the world is running. That if this, for example, one person is trying the job, then basically he will be doing the possibility. Yeah, basically I have not got job in Mumbai, I have not got in Vadodara. Then what should I do? I should try in Pune. I should try in Bangalore. Then basically he told that. Who it's a basically big union basically, then what do you do? Then basically you have to break that union, or union also are also not going to break. Then basically what you have to do? Then basically you have to do something very dangerous thing basically, so that you should get the job. Otherwise basically peacefully, if say if they gives the job, then it's okay. Otherwise, so like this basically the communication also basically happens with the uh, people basically. But here the main thing is what, in India, basically big earthquake basically never comes. Why? Because blood group never gets effect basically. Big level effect basically never happens in India basically. And assume that in India basically there are 4 to 5 blood groups basically, which is handling each and every buildings. Assume that A blood group is handling trees, B blood group is handling buildings, sea waters, and roads basically, and that D blood group basically is handling the uh, each and every human needs basically, you can say vehicles, foods, then papers, books, laptops, each and everything basically, each and every plastics, iron, each and everything are handled by these blood groups. This blood group means from this blood group basically these all things are basically created, that basically I'm telling you. If it's created from these all blood groups, then only basically you can control the stability. So here basically the question is, Congress party basically, here basically I'm just taking as an Congress party, but in real basically the Congress party also basically might be handled by some other groups. Congress party also might be getting handled by some other groups. So here I'm talking that which blood group basically has created which all human needs, because one new person basically comes into the political party and he say he can't handle the entire country, right? Because this country is created long before in 1700 only basically. So it took 300 years. 300 years basically things basically can't it's very difficult to understand also. It's very difficult to, so here basically the thing is how basically the earthquakes are mapped, that basically we are saying that how basically the earthquakes are mapped in the India country. So for that basically we saw that which all blood groups basically has created which all items, that basically we are going to see in next part, and how the each and every things are created. For example, uh, the building materials basically are created from the six F blood groups. All buildings materials. So all buildings materials are connected with the F blood groups. There are around 70 crore people basically, who basically are connected with the F blood groups. So these F blood groups are basically directly connected with the buildings standing in the whole world. So if anything happens to that blood groups, then basically direct effect is there to the building. Direct effect is going to happen to the building basically. If all blood groups in this world basically is going to affect, this will basically never happen. But anything can happen basically in this world. So you have to be ready for anything basically. So if whole blood group basically is going to get effect, then basically possibility is there of the earthquakes. But that basically very rare happens. Very rare means very 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 rare. So that basically we are going to see basically which blood group has created what all the objects. This basically India doctor basically, that basically you can say the AIMS doctor basically, they basically 100% might be having the data. That's why basically they are handling the entire India country blood group. No? That's why they are handling the entire India blood group. They basically might be 100% having the data that which blood group actually created which all items, and on the base of the items basically what will be the magnitude of the earthquake basically which might come if the blood group basically is going to affect up to this level. So next topic basically we are going to see of this all next level topic.